Hello everybody and welcome to my YouTube channel. Hopefully today we might have a chance at getting this old 1981 Chevrolet Camaro up and running, and if I'm lucky enough to get it to run, maybe we can even drive it from where it's sat for the last roughly 25 years or so. There's no stickers in the window or tags or anything to tell me exactly how long it's been sitting. I know it's been sitting since the late 90s, and this car is nothing special. Ah, crap, the hood is latched. Alright. Well, there's absolutely nothing special. Is because of what's under the hood. Under the hood, we have oh, come on, phone. .8 liter V6. This thing is awful. It does still have the smog on it. It most likely won't run. You can already see there's chewed wires out in the back. I hate recording on iPhones, but I guess I have to deal with it. I don't have anything else to record with. But we're gonna try and find out if this thing will run today. She's rusty, really rusty, and just about every spot you can imagine, it's rusty, except for the passenger side. The passenger side's relatively okay. Oh, the door won't open now. No, she's pretty rusty. She's got a bunch of junk in it, extra seats, but only 80,000 miles on her. Less than 100,000 are on this thing. Ooh, that wasn't good. Yeah, the doors are in fact worn out, but someday this car will be receiving a 350 small block with aluminum heads and some highly performance parts, and then also a 4-speed Muncie. I have most of the stuff to do that, but I'm just curious if this V6 will ever run again. So today we are going to attempt to find out if we can make this old V6 have any life. There's very low chance, but let's find out. And while we're standing here looking, does anyone have any brake fluid on? Nope. That looks, oh no. There is a little bit of very dark fluid in the front, but it's all leaked out. So that means most likely the lines have rotted out, and this thing will never have brakes until I go through and do all new lines. I really don't want to do that right now, so I probably won't. As you can see, there's also no alternator. So, oh, engine spins. The belt is rusted to the crank pulley, but that allowed me to spin it a little. This motor isn't fully seized. The smog pump is seized, but the engine isn't locked up. So I guess that's something. Let me go get a battery, and I know there's a couple wires that I need to fix. Mice have eaten through them, and then we can see what we got going on. Alrighty, so a very short amount of time has passed. I brought a battery down. I fixed what I believe is the crank signal wire that was eaten in two by mice. So we are going to hook up our battery, of which it doesn't have much of a battery tray to sit on. So we gotta find a spot for this thing to sit so I can actually hook it up. That's not gonna make much of a connection because I didn't bring any normal tools down here. All I have is kind of nothing. So we've got what power connections we got. There are no sparks. Oh, the hazards are on. What? And they're working. Hazards are on and working. Where are the hazards? Fuel tank, fuel gauge goes all the way to full. It's trying. Oh, all right, it's trying to whirl over. It rolled a little. That's kind of cool. So this thing's got power to it and is working now. That is awesome. So that single wire was what was preventing me from getting this started like a year ago. That singular wire was the issue. Now I need to cut that one belt that goes around the water pump, of course. Because if I don't, it will not roll over very well, because the belt is rusted to literally about everything. You know, that belt isn't really connected, is it? Now here, I will see if I can find a spot to stop this thing. And you guys can see the rotation of the engine. That'll be a miracle if I find a spot here. Okay, here. Maybe you'll be able to see. All right, let's find out. Thing actually rolled over. That is really impressive, actually. So, yeah, that's an issue. But that's an issue for not today. Yeah, so the motor turns over, of which is really cool. It's not seized. It doesn't sound terrible. Well, I guess that means, first off, that battery's probably dead. And I should actually probably unhook it. And then, ooh, positive terminal's a little warm. I'm sure the negative terminal's really warm. Yeah, negative terminal is just toasty. So I'm sure that battery is to start dead. So we'll have to do something about that. But I did bring down a second battery. I guess next up is, so this is, this car has what is known as an HEI distributor. So instead of a normal, on a lot of these old cars, a points and a coil setup where there are two contacts in the distributor that open and close to create a spark. Instead of that, what this is it's all in one. So this right on top, that is your ignition coil. And then inside, I believe, is like a magnetic sensor. So as the distributor rotates, I believe counterclockwise, or no, clockwise, basically that sensor is a magnet, and every time it gets a magnetic pulse, it sends a spark signal from the coil through one of the spark plug wires and to the cylinder that is needing spark. And they're a really simple system. They hardly ever fail. The ignition coils, especially the cheap ones, do often fail, but that's just because they're cheap O'Reilly ignition coils. So I guess, what do you expect? But this is the first time I tried to mess with this car last summer, and I was able to get some power to certain things, but I was never able to get the starter to even think about anything. And I never noticed that there's a wire specifically that one there, that was chewed up. And now that I fixed that, it cranks over. It rolls over great. So I gotta go get like a little brush out the carburetor, make sure nothing, even though I don't care about this motor, I care about it enough now that, you know, if I'm gonna get it to run, I want it to actually run. So I'm gonna clean it off and get some gas, some 2-stroke gas specifically because of the oil in it. Pour a little bit of 2-stroke gas, and this thing will probably just sit here and run. No, it'll pop off. It probably won't just sit here and run. It's not in that good a condition where I trust it to do that, but we shall be back with some extra things. Alrighty, folks, we are finally back. And so, as you can see here, for a carburetor, we have a Rochester dual jet. These are basically just a normal quadri-jet carburetor, missing the back 2 bowls and the back half of the carburetor. Essentially just a 2-bowl. It's 2-barrel, but it's a quadri-jet deal here. Now I'm trying to take this brush and brush as much of the stuff that was on top of the choke away, to not allow it to go in the motor, even though I know some of it did and has. What does it look like down in there? You tell me. You see anything down there? Guess not. The linkage is extravagantly seized. That's great. This does not move at all. And I think that's in a throttled position, so it'll rev up when it starts. Yay! Plus there's probably about 16 bajillion vacuum leaks because of all the smog crap that I don't feel like fixing. So I don't even think I could fill the bowl on this, can I? I don't know what the heck this is. Is that what I fill the bowl through? Maybe. It's either that or this. I don't know. I don't know which. I'll probably just dump some down in there just to see if it'll fire. Which does mean I gotta walk over to the 4-wheeler. I gotta grab the other battery and stuff. And I have a 4-wheeler. I am quite a ways away. There's my barn, but the house is way up on the hill. I'm good solid 1,000 feet away probably from the house or more. So this thing's out here ways. So I brought the 4-wheeler out with some extra parts and things. And next to it is next summer's project. So I have a new cab for it over there. This is a cool truck. This will be next summer's project. Hopefully you guys will be around here for whoever watches this. Hope you guys stick around enough to come back for when I get around to that. I unfortunately don't have the time or the money to post as frequently as a lot of these other YouTubers do, like Full Barn Garage. And well, to be fair, those are like famous car YouTubers. I'm not one of those. I would love to be, but I'm not one of those. So yeah, I will now be extracting this battery that is dead, and then cutting the majority of the skin off of my middle finger in the process, and then grab this other battery that I have that's probably just about as dead or more dead, I don't know which, and is probably far too big to fit down here. Sort of. And then we'll connect it. And boom. This battery has been installed, and now I'm bleeding from my finger. I will not show you that. Let me go get the gasoline. I should have got some WD-40 down here or something. So what we have for gasoline for today is a 50-to-1 mix of like chainsaw fuel. The whole purpose behind that is basically that when I'm starting this motor, especially being that I haven't pulled plugs, I haven't done anything to like lube the motor up, like I haven't put any oil in the cylinders, haven't done anything like that. When you're starting a motor dry, you want as much lubrication in the motor as you can. So by using a 50-to-1 oil mix for gasoline, for like chainsaws, it helps lubricate the valves and helps keep everything from like catastrophic failure when it actually starts, if it actually starts. So we're just gonna take this, release any pressure, and we're just gonna just dribble a little bit in each side. Supposedly these are really fuel efficient motors. I know they're not. That didn't even go in the carburetor. So we'll just pour about that much in it, and then I will set you guys somewhere here. I'll set you guys right in the picture. How about that? Did I connect the battery? No. Alright. I gotta connect the battery, and then we can maybe get this thing to sputter a little bit. Maybe we'll be able to hear this V6. I don't know what it'll do. We're gonna find out though. Sounds like we only had one cylinder there. Only one happy cylinder. So, it did try on one, maybe two cylinders. It tried to fire off, which is, I guess, something. We have some form of it. I am going to stick that in the carburetor, just so that way it's easier to put some fuel down in. Just make sure it's got more than enough there. And we'll try her again, huh? Let's try this again. Maybe it'll think about it a little bit more. Nope. Didn't really seem to think about it any more than it had before. It was still trying to fire on at least one or two cylinders, but it's kind of all I seem to get. And you know, I never really thought to check, did the mice eat any? Oh, yeah. Well, I found one of my problems. That spark plug wire isn't connected anymore. That's, I don't know which wire it is. Yeah, I would say that's an issue. So cylinder number, what is that, 5? Has no potential to run. I have no idea what the other side ones look like. So I'm gonna have to go find some HEI wires. I'll go dig around in the collection, see what I can find. Should be able to find something that'll work. Maybe. So, pop this bad boy off. Oh boy, I don't know if I have one of those. I don't know about that. But, let's take a look at the other side while I'm thinking of it, so I know how many I'm gonna need. So we have one cylinder that straight up had no spark due to the spark plug wire being eaten, and I was unaware of that. What do we got on this side? First off, there's something in the weeds over here, some form of animal. That's not startling, not at all, because I have no idea what lives out here, honestly. This air cleaner is in my way. All right, so looks like also, so the front two cylinders just straight up don't have spark, because that one is also eaten. That is eaten. that has been munched on, and I don't even think I can get it to come off, actually. I'll have to mess with that later. So many bugs today. It's so hot. It's like 90 out right now. In the sun, it's 102. Luckily, I'm in the shade. So we only have supposedly 4 cylinders that have spark, and maybe 2 that have compression. So let me go try and see if I can find some spark plug wires, and we'll be back. Alrighty, I have returned with a couple extra parts. I forgot that I got a brand new set of HDI spark plug wires for my other 81 Camaro that has a 305 in it, and these were sitting in the back seat of my car. So I grabbed a handful of those and a pair of pliers just to help. But what I noticed as I was looking on this thing off camera, because I just turned the camera off to unhook some of these and check them out. So we only had number 5 on this side not doing anything. 1 and 3 seemed to be working. On the other side, I think we only had 4, because 1 was unplugged, not broken. It was unplugged. The boot was stuck to the spark plug. And 6 was just unplugged. I don't remember why they were unplugged, but they were. So I gotta go I'm gonna replace cylinder number 1's spark plug wire, and then cylinder number 5's wire. I was able to plug, number 2, and then number 5, I think. But this one is just unplugged. It's missing the boot. But there's so much metal down there, it probably won't arc to the spark plug, so I'm gonna replace it. I just have to get this spark plug boot to come off, which it now is off. I'll just throw that out of the way. So we'll replace those, and then we can hopefully, maybe this thing will actually light off if it has a couple more cylinders with spark. Maybe. All right, so this guy way back here is cylinder number 5. So we need a relatively long one. I don't know. This will probably do. We can plug this one and somewhere down in here. And I don't know where these spark plugs. They're in such an inconvenient spot. I don't know why GM chose to do it. Sorry for all the terrible angles and everything, guys, and the panting and all that. It's hot. It's way too hot to really truly be doing this today, but I'm here, and there's a car that's sitting here not running and not being driven, and for the morning anyway, it's in the shade. So taking advantage of that to try and force it to maybe run again for the first time in who knows how long. I have all the registrations in a folder because I pulled them out of a glove box a couple of years ago, and they're not here. I think I took them to my house. That's not here. So yeah, I will have to find those, and at the end of the video we'll know how long it's been sitting for, I guess. Of which is relatively annoying, especially for you guys, I know. But I'm pretty sure this car hasn't been registered or anything since at least 1998. All right, so now, supposedly, we should have spark to all 6, maybe, cylinders. So we'll we'll try this again here. I will, once again, set you guys right on up in here. Hopefully you'll be able to, you can kind of see where the carburetor's at and stuff. We'll, splash some fuel at it and see if it lights off this time. It kind of sort of tried, maybe. I'm not 100% sure what it was doing there. So it kind of seemed like maybe we had more than one cylinder there for a minute, but towards the end we didn't really have more than one cylinder. I don't know. I'm not really sure what we got going on right now. I know the water pump must be spinning. Or not the water pump, the power steering. I don't know, we'll just keep giving it gas. If I give it enough, it'll just sit here and run probably. I'll make sure that I specifically fuel both sides here. So I'm not just giving fuel to, you know, the driver's side or the passenger side. So distribute it equally amongst the cylinders. Well, we have more than one cylinder trying. I really don't want to sit in this car. That's not exactly a great idea. That was kind of sort of the horn contact, yeah. I don't think the horn works, but I mean, I don't know. It's kind of trying, but maybe if I get something a little bit more spicy than two-stroke gas, it'll think about it a little bit more. If I go get like ether or something. I don't want to give it ether, but I think it's so low on compression that I might not have a choice but to. Jeez Louise, this throttle linkage is so stuck. Maybe I soak the carburetor down in some penetrant and then leave it, because the battery's low. I gotta go put that on charge. We'll come back in a couple of hours after I put some penetrating fluid on the carburetor, see if we could free that up a little bit. I could go get a different one. I do have a second dual jet that came off of my other 305 Camaro that would bolt up to this. I just don't want to do that because that means I'd have to hook a lot of this crap up that isn't really going to hook itself up, and that won't work out very well. So we'll be back. Okay, so it has been a little while and there has been a little bit of progress. So about an hour, I brought down some WD-40 and soaked the carb. I got the throttle linkage to move. The accelerator pump is stuck, but that shouldn't matter a whole lot. But the throttle's free. That's all good. I have some other things soaking. I also charged the battery back up, so if I can potentially fill the bowls, maybe we can hear this thing truly roar to life this time, being that I can actually modulate the throttle from inside now, because the throttle cable is not stuck. The throttle cable does work. So I'm gonna put you guys right on in over here. and then see if I can fill the bowl without making a huge mess. Give this thing a little splash, and I am going to let the choke kind of do what it wants to, and I guess let's give this thing a try. Not 100% sure that I want to sit in this car. Actually, I know I don't want to sit in this car, but I'm gonna. I can't fit in this car. Hey, it actually ran. She made noise. Jeez, that was a terrible voice crack. The thing actually ran though. That hurt my hip to sit in there. You have to sit in this thing so weird. The steering wheel is so close to the seat, and because, you know, this car is rotted. Oh, that stinks. That smells terrible. There's a little bit smoky out the exhaust, but overall, that's not too shabby. I am going to stop the video so you guys don't have to watch me make a mess of filling the bowl again. Well, trying to. I'm going to fill the bowl again and see if we can get it to run a little longer than that, shall we? Alrighty, let me get around to the driver's side. I swapped camera positions, see if it'll look better. But bowl again. We're gonna find out here in a second. That is awesome. That is absolutely awesome. Actually didn't smoke much at all that time. That's kind of cool. Ran remarkably pretty decent. Okay, welcome to day 2 of working on our Camaro. I have a friend with me today to help out for a little while. Since we got it running, nothing has happened because it started pouring. Other than today, we have started by removing some of the smog stuff so we can get to the fuel pump. And we began airing up some of the tires for the car and working on a couple other little odds and ends. We're hoping to drive this today, hopefully. It's unlikely, but we're hopeful to force this car to move. Hopefully we don't have to tow it, but I'm guessing its whole 110 horsepower will not get it out of its spot. So it doesn't run that great yet. And if the fuel pump is dead, then it'll be like 2 weeks before I can make this run because I don't have money to buy one right now. So once we make some progress, I will fire up the camera again and we'll keep you updated. So we're going to test the fuel pump. We're going to see if it'll pump fuel. We finally got most of the things that we needed to, you know, most of the way done. So let's watch the bottle, see if it fills up with any gas. No way.
It does.
We have a fuel pump. That is a damn miracle. Hey, the door latches now. All right, so we have a working fuel pump. It is a miracle that that works after 35 years of sitting in this spot. So I guess hook up the carburetor and
We'll hope that it runs. Let me get by.
Nah.
I gotta connect the fuel somehow. We're gonna need another chunk of fuel line too, actually. I didn't bring any extra. Probably should have done that. You can cut it. Alright, we have most everything hooked up, so, oh, the check engine light's on. You think that's an issue?
Nah.
Let's see if it'll pump enough fuel and make a big mess, but also run.
We're not leaking as much.
I forgot I didn't hook the throttle return springs back up. The fact that it sat there and it ran is a miracle. It actually runs really good though.
Rookie mistakes.
Asshole. Now we'll hook all this stuff back up. We'll set this back to a time lapse. We'll get tires and some other things situated, and maybe we'll even put some water in the radiator, see if we can get it to, even though we don't have a water pump that spins because there's no alternator, you know, it would be nice to have it just to think it works. So all right, so we made it as far as we got a path maybe big enough for the car mode. We got it scooted over some with the jack, and we got it started. We shoved it in drive at all the RPM, and all it'll do is spin the tire. It is stuck where it sits. The tires don't have any grip to them. So we're gonna go get the Ford tractor, and we're gonna tow it up to where it's more flat and try and drive it once again. So we'll see you back when we have it moved. That'll be good. Ready?
Yep.
It backfired.
You're spinning. Has no brakes. Sorry for the poor stability.
Rear leaf spring mount broke on the driver's side.
Great.
Up in there now. The front one's okay, which is the one that breaks more. But she drives.
Yeah, she does.
She doesn't love it, but she does it. What's the other side? That's also breakers. This one's still intact. This side's still intact. It's not quite sitting as low, but the rear leaf spring mount on that side's gone.
Yeah. You were just doing a constant burnout.
I figured. These tires are junk, but.
Yeah.
And this is the final little bit. So after the pressure washing, she turned out quite very nice. She's much cleaner, much happier, a little bit better. So, and with minimal work, you know, we need radiator, some brakes, tires, some interior, a couple other small things, and then this car will finally return to the road, hopefully before this time next year, because I am not quite 18 and cannot title it yet. But it is soon to be.
Look at the thing.
What? Yeah? What about it?
The fender's a little fucked.
Really?
Yeah.
I couldn't tell. So yeah, this is the end of episode 1 of working on my 1981 Camaro with a 3.8 liter V6. Come back for part 2 in a month or 2, give or take. We'll see.